Gabdullina. I'm an English teacher from г.Атырау. And today I would like to show lesson grade 11 on topic Unit 2C, Plan, Design and Evaluate Invention, Creating Safety Regulations and Planning. Now let's get started, and firstly I would like to introduce you today's learning objectives. They are S3. As you are going to work with other members of your group, you will have to give and explain your point of view and others' point of view. S7. You will have to use appropriate subject-specific vocabulary and syntax to talk about a range of general and curricular topics, and also including some unfamiliar topics. L2. As you are going to do some listening activities, you should understand specific information in unsupported extended talk on a wide range of general and curricular topics, including talk on a growing range of unfamiliar topics. You should use speaking and listening skills while working cooperatively in groups. And also you should respect different points of view. One of the main points of our lesson is grammar, which means you should use a wide variety of present and past forms. Now let's continue. In today's lesson, I would like to start with warm-up activity. Let me explain the instructions. This game is a listening and concentration game. One clap, you should spin around. Two claps, you should hop on place. And when you wear 3 claps, you should stamp your foot. Okay? Everybody understands? And I will alternate between the different clap styles, moving more quickly as you get better at the game. And if you miss an action or do the wrong action, you will be eliminated. We will continue until there is a clear winner. Okay? Now let's move on. There is a table on the board, you see. There are 3 columns. Your task is, working with your partner, you should complete these columns. In the first column, you should write different games you know. These games could be played by teenagers, children, or adults. You can write any kind of games. In the second column, you should clearly write if they are indoor, outdoor, online, or digital games. And also What kind of materials are used during playing this game? The price of these games, and then you may go through their safety regulations. Okay? Now, as an example, let's do one together. You see there is a picture on the board, and I have some questions. Of course, everybody knows that this game is soccer. Is it outdoor or indoor game? You are right. This game is played outside a special playground. Who plays this game? Yes, teenagers and adults play this game. What do we need to wear? If you decide to play this game, you should wear shin guards or soccer socks. And also you should stay hydrated, particularly on hot, sunny days, by drinking plenty of fluids before, during, and after games. Make sure there is first aid available at the fields where you play and practice. And make sure that there is a way to contact medical personnel. Now, you have time to complete this table. As I explained to you, you may choose any kind of game. They could be indoor, outdoor, or online games. They could be played by children, teenagers, and adults. And then you may go through the safety regulations. Okay, let's check up together and look through what you have written. Now, the first game is Twister. Which could be played inside or outside. So you clearly have written here its safety regulation. We should make sure that we are physically capable. Okay. Monopoly. It's an indoor game. We should keep small game pieces away from small children. And volleyball. It's an outdoor game. And we see that we should wear right shoes and knee pad, as we can easily get injured. Well, very well done. Thank you. Now, let's move on. As I'm interested in the most popular games among you students. Can you name the most popular games among teenagers? And explain why are they so popular? As an example, I would like to share the information with you which I have found recently, which is done by UK education expert. The latest Monitor survey shows that almost 3,000 UK children aged 5-16 asked about favorite apps. And top games apps among 11-16s are. And now I'm going to read the descriptions of these games. And you will have to guess what they are. In the first place, game which was released on December 10, 2009. In the game, players use a slingshot to launch birds at swine stationed on or within various structures, with the intent of destroying all the pigs on the playing field. As players advance through the game, new types of birds become available, some with special abilities that can be activated by the player. Okay, now what ideas you've got? This game is Angry Birds. In the second place, is a game about breaking and placing blocks. At first, people built structures to protect against nocturnal monsters. But as the game grew, players worked together to create wonderful, imaginative things. It can also be about adventuring with friends or watching the sunrise over a blocky ocean. It's pretty. Brave players battle terrible things in the nether, which is more scary than pretty. So, what do you think? Your predictions? Yes, you are right. This game is called Minecraft, which is also popular among our teenagers. In the third place, game where the player controls an explorer who, having stolen a treasure from a temple, is chased by demonic monkeys who want to eat him or her. As the game is an endless running game, there is no end to the temple. Therefore, the player plays until the character falls off the temple to his or her demise, or is eaten by the crazed monkeys. Now, what do you think? What options you have got? Okay, let's check up, and you see this game is Temple Run. Okay, now students, you are going to watch the short video where the professional game designers will give their suggestions and advice. While watching this video and listening to professionals, You will have to focus on the causes of the problems and how professionals give advice to people who are thinking of becoming game designers. As you see, there are 5 questions for you, and you should give correct answers, listening to the people who are going to speak. Okay, so look through all these questions together. Question number 1. What is most important for video game designer? 2. Why is it important to be creative with video game design? The third question. Why do you need to have more than just a love for video games? 4th. What do they suggest viewers to do to start? You should list 3 suggestions. And the 5th question, as you see, there is a sentence with empty gaps. Watching this video, you will have to write down correct words in these empty gaps. Okay, are you ready? Now let's watch the video.
What advice would you give to someone who wanted to be a game designer?
First thing I tell anybody that's in this, first of all, get your education.
Having a master's degree in computing won't help you. So, just as a warning, don't bother wasting 6 years of your life if that's what you want to do.
I encourage everyone to go to college, if for no other reason than to simply prolong childhood.
With a master's degree in computing, you're going to get a pretty good job, so maybe it's a good thing to do anyway, but it won't help you being a game designer.
4 years of fooling around while you're trying to figure things out is exactly the kind of experience you need to do a job like this.
You need to be able to think outside of the books as well, and I think that's one thing a lot of people overlook.
The best thing you can do if you want to design games is know games, and there's no other substitute for it.
The best asset you can have is common sense and creativity. There's a lot of people who are in this industry that are just so much smarter than me. Book smarts, it's not funny. But they don't have the common sense, they don't have the creativity, they can't put it together.
There are a million ways to get into the business.
You have to follow the magazines, you have to follow the business, you have to know what state of the art is, you have to know what a good game is, what games fail. You have to love video games.
It's still really hard to break into the business because you need a lucky break.
It's business as well as creativity. I think if you've got all that stuff wrapped together, somebody's going to recognize you eventually.
I know nobody's going to want to hear this, but playing games, loving games, isn't going to make you a game designer any more than watching movies will make you a movie star. You have to be a responsible, hard-working, pragmatic problem solver. Otherwise, the dreams never amount to anything more than just dreams.
There's a lot of hard work, and you've got to be willing to put in the hours, to have such a love for it that you put that before, the fact that you wanted to see the X-Files on Friday night, and instead you're out there programming.
I think if you really like it, you should write a little demo, and if not a whole game. And if it's a good product, then you'll catch people's attention.
Go build something. If you want to be a level designer, go build a level for one of the first-person shooter games. There's great tools for that. If you want to be a programmer, program a mod for it. If you want to be an artist, reskin a model or build a new model, or build a texture set for building a level.
Write down your ideas. Get those ideas down on paper, flesh them out, and approach companies with your game designs, and just pound on doors until somebody listens to you, till you get in. It requires persistence. Anything you can do to get your foot in the door, once you're in, the sky's the limit as to where you can go.
So you've really got to sacrifice a lot of things if you want to succeed, and you have to be prepared to do that. If you're not, then you're not going to make it.
Well, I don't think you should get too hung up on finding or mapping out a career path. What worked for somebody else isn't necessarily going to work for you. I think it's more important that you trust your own instincts. I think it's important that you follow your heart and have fun along the way, because eventually, if you've got what it takes to be a game designer, you're going to figure something out, because figuring things out is what a game designer does.
Okay, now students, if one day you decide to make your own project, I think all these suggestions and advice will help you. Now you have some time to look through the questions again with your partners, and then we'll check up together. So the first question is, what is most important for video game designer? The correct answer is passion. Next question, why is it important to be creative in video game design? The correct answer is new ideas to be successful. Okay. The third question, why do you need to have more than just a love for video games? Okay, you see there is a correct answer. It's a lot of hard work and you need to know what you are doing. Question number 4. What do they suggest viewers to do to start? You had to list 3 suggestions. They are: first, making practice. The second, design. And the third is writing the ideas down. And finally, the 5th question. Sentence. What should we trust? What should we follow? And what should we have along the way? So the professionals say that we should trust our own instincts, follow our heart, and have fun along the way. Okay. Now, let's go on. Dear students, there are different kinds of stickers under your desks. They are blue, pink, yellow, and orange. If you got, now you may find out the other members of your groups by the color of the stickers. Okay? So we have 4 groups. Dear students, imagine that you had a chance to create your own game, what would you do first? And who would you discuss with? Now I'm going to explain your task. The task is, I'm handing out worksheets and there is an explanation. A large Kazakh company has asked you to produce design specifications for a game. The game can be either real or virtual. You can choose to make a game for one of the following contexts. Working on groups. You should know about the big difference in designing a game for 3-5-year-olds and for 11-12s. And similarly, 13-14-year-olds may have different interests from 18-19-year-olds. This means that you may want to narrow the age down more precisely. As I mentioned, the game can be either real or virtual. You should decide if your game is for children under the age of 12 or a game for teenagers. Okay? So your planning, design and evaluation will be structured in 3 stages. Stage 1, begin planning your game. Stage 2, develop the design specifications for your game. Stage 3, evaluate other groups' designs and present your group's design. Now today, till the end of this lesson, you are going to begin planning your game. Now, working in your groups, you will decide which of the you should discuss and agree about targets, cost, durability, materials which could be used, appearance, how it will look like, safety, size and shape, and decoration. You can use a computer for this or a draw by hand. Okay, now I want to show the video how it works. Now students, you have time till the end of this lesson, and for the next lesson I will be waiting for you with great ideas and created games. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.